person's photo who succeeded in that field. For example, I can see the photo of PV Sindhu or Lee Chong-wei or Saina Nehwal like that, and we want to practice as much hard, and we should be we should keep confidence on us itself, because if we lack confidence on us, there will be no profit for it. Then the points all completed, and I'm winding up all the one. The first point is take out the negative vibration. The second point is
you're doing a summary. You're giving a summary.
Yes. So first point is take out the negative vibration. Then the second point is as if method. Then the third point is operating the ideas. Then the fourth point is rising the consistency. So the summary of this is feel good and don't recall the negative things and don't think about your future. First, you should live in your present. If we live in our present only, the future will be good and the present will be good, and there will be a positive vibration in ourselves. Thank you.
Fantastic presentation, Pratulya. So Ananya, Achyut, and Anantika, if you've got any questions to Pratulya, you can please ask now.
Yes. Amazing job, Pratulya. I loved the presentation. Oh, you're welcome. I just wanted to know, out of all the videos in the playlist, why did you decide to pick this one specifically?
I didn't pick this video, sir, and they sent this video to me, and this is the first time I'm seeing a video of Maniandan sir, and I'm presenting it on the.
Ananya, the playlist, I sent it to you because you might be having ranges of expectations, and therefore I sent the playlist to you. But for
okay.
Yeah, but for Anantika, I picked one, and I mean for Pratulya, I picked one and I gave it to her. But anyways,
okay.
Okay.
Well then, in that case, did you enjoy making a presentation about this specific topic?
Did you enjoy making presentation on this topic? She's asking, right?
Would you do further research with it?
Yes, Ananya.
Ananya.
Okay. Yeah. Good job, Pratulya.
Thank you.
All right. So Ananya has asked two questions. Achyut or Anantika, do you have any questions before I ask mine?
No, sir. Good job, Pratulya.
Okay. Is a good job to you.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. So my question to Pratulya is, Pratulya has been explained consistently that, this particular concept is going to be useful for becoming a badminton player in the future. If law of attraction is so easy, Pratulya, why people are failing so many times?
Sir, because they couldn't able to accept the negative vibration and their feelings. If I failed in a match and or I failed in on studies that and also in doing fitness and all, my coach will point out me and he will scold me for that, sir. So I will be in a depressed state on that moment, sir. So that I can't able to digest that scolding and that failure, sir. So I would be in a negative vibration, sir. So it is for telling it is easy, sir, but for following
Practicing
it is.
Correct. And in the beginning of the presentation, you mentioned a key point that feeling good. Law of attraction's total summation is in these two words, feeling good. So can you, I was just asking Ananya the same question, that is how this particular concept that she presented will be useful in her life. Now, I want you to tell me how law of attraction is going to be useful for in your life and feeling good is going to be useful for in your life.
Sir, my mom will be always scolding me, sir, for my handwriting and for not concentrating properly in studies, sir. So that if I ignore the words of my mom, sir, I will be feeling good, sir. So I can be there will be confidence within me, sir. So I can use law of attraction in that.
For that, okay, right. Anyway, that was a good presentation, Pratulya. Thank you so much. Sit down. Right, so we are now switching gears and Pratulya has finished her presentation. Now Anantika has joined. So before we get on with Anantika's Anantika's presentation, it's been a while since we have listened to Achyut's presentation. So we will listen to Achyut's presentation, and then, if time permits, because Anantika has joined very late, she has joined only about 35 minutes later. So we will have to take a call on Anantika's presentation. But Achyut, now you can start your presentation.
Okay, so like my presentation, I tried my best because like I just came back from like a camp yesterday. So like I had another one originally in mind, though like I couldn't give that. So I'll do that next week. This week I'm gonna talk about why I went to camp, which is mainly because of something called marching band. So like I actually have I made a little bit of a visual. It's not much, but can I screen share?
Yeah,
Sir?
yes, Achyut, you can.
It's saying disabled.
You can share. Multiple participants can share. I have enabled it.
Okay, sir. Yeah, okay. This is marching band. So like in India, there's no such concept as it. It's mainly used in mainly used as a thing in American football games. And it's during the halftime, like during the break in the football game. Typically a band will perform for this thing, like for as a show for halftime. So like for example, like I'm in high school right now, and there's a high school football team that plays football, and like football is like it's not like the soccer, it's not like not like Indian football. It's American football. It's more it's like rugby, like you may call it like rugby. I don't, it's not you guys, India is not really familiar with it. This marching band, basically, hey, we perform with instruments and then we move around with it. And we have like several props as well to like make it show up. It's a very interesting thing that is. So like this is an example. Like this is actually this is this is a person, and all the people that are performing, they're all different people playing different instruments, and they're all being in the same format. So like this is actually one of Michael Jackson. Like I don't like he is doing his one of his signature dance moves, which is called the moonwalk, and like they're playing Michael Jackson's song while they are doing the moonwalk, which is pretty interesting. And these are some marching band instruments. So like there's a wide variety, as you can see. And like not all these instruments, they're all Western instruments. They're not like Indian instruments and stuff. So like there's three different categories. I don't know if you guys can like tell, but like in the left side here, there's like all the woodwind instruments. So like you can, some of them may stick out like flute, and then there's saxophones. There's different types of saxophones, and then there's clarinet, and then there's different types. Like piccolo is a higher version of the flute. It plays higher pitch sounds. Bass clarinet is lower pitched sounds of a clarinet, and then yeah, there's varieties of saxophones. And then there's brass instruments, which are like trumpet. You may see like horn like instruments. So trumpet, and then mellophone, which is kind of like I don't know how to explain it, like a more lower trumpet. I don't. And then trombone, which is a and baritone, which are more like lower sounding brass instruments. And then sousaphone, it's the big instrument. It's the big horn that you may hear, and it's the lowest of it. And then there's percussion, which is what I do on the instrument. I play bass drum for the marching band. But like there's snare drum, which is like the typical marching band and instruments that many people think of. And then there's tenors, which are like multiple of the snare drum, except more like toms in like a drum set. And then bass drum, it's like the lower sounding drum, which I play, and then not pictured here, but cymbals as well, which it crash cymbals. Basic, and then like these are the types of marching bands. So like there's high school, college ones, military, and others. So like high school one is the one that I do right now. I'm doing right now a high school because like I'm in high school. Like it typically performs for college football games, and it's even though it's a lot of work, it's also probably the easiest one to run because like there's like the most flexibility with it and like there's not as much of a demand and for it like it's still hard. Like I still go to school for like 8 hours if I need to perform, which is a pretty long time, and like I have to go to additional like 6 hours of like rehearsing the instrument, and so like before to make sure we're playing the stuff right. And like high school, like typically there's some type of camp which I just went to, so like we've learned everything, how to do the drill, how to like what notes to play in the instruments, everything we learn. And we also do some small milder activities that will make us more like that because like we're still friends and all, so like we'll do like fun games and stuff as well to compensate for like the hard work you'd learn. And then college is very similar to high school. It's even more rigorous though. And like the marching band I showed you earlier was a college one. And like it is and it's even more rigorous and stuff. And like college games, football games are really popular in in the US. So like a marching band also naturally increases. And then there's the US military, which is which is the most different. Like military wise, you may hear the songs play like in America, you may hear like the patriotic American songs played by them, and then like they play for the president and other stuff, and like they basically march down. It's a thing. There's very few opportunities to do marching band outside of high school and college. Once you leave school, typically people don't do it for it. But like in military, like you can continue it. And then another one, there's like marching bands that are competitive. Like there's already marching band competitions for high school and college. And for me, that will be later in October. But like there's others that even go higher. Like these are like high school. They're like the best players and instruments. They'll be selected to perform in like private marching band. So like this is not like for any like football game or anything. This is specifically for like commercial purposes. Like it's like the football game itself because like you're competing and stuff, and like they're the best marching band. And like there'll be always these shows everywhere. Like there's a show I believe about 1 month ago in my area that was featuring all the marching bands, major of these commercial marching bands, and they had a lot of stuff. Like they had props, they had electronics to play, and like there's all these crazy stuff about it. Like that's stuff about marching band. I basically have to say, like, it's not a much of a presentation, but it's something.
Okay, so nice explanation because I have always been observing uh, your previous contemporaries like Tanishwar Edilan, Siddharth Saranakumar, all those were uh, contemporaries of yours. They also used to mention that, sir, was not able to attend the class because I was in band, I was in a music band, I was in this band. So only today I got the clear picture as to what is actually a high school band really is. They're given a clear-cut explanation. So, Ananya, Pratulya, and Anantika, if you got any questions to Achyut, does anyone have any questions to Achyut? Because I've got a couple of questions to Achyut. Pratulya
yes,
has.
sir. Oh.
Yeah, Ananya. Yes, Ananya, you can go and Pratulya will follow you.
Okay, sir. So great presentation, Ajud. You're welcome. So you mentioned you play the bass drum, which I believe is a percussion instrument. I used to be in band, so I know a bit about this. But you said you used to play the bass drum. So out of all the instruments in that you could have picked, why did you pick the bass drum?
Well, like in my school, actually, like there's not like you cannot just choose like one. You need to audition obviously for it. And like for
Yeah.
my school, there's a system where like the snare, tenor, and bass drums you have to choose, and then they'll give you like a brief period to practice it before you audition. And like if you make the instrument, you get to just keep it, and then if you don't, you get to be on cymbals, which is relatively very simpler compared to other things. Like you just crash every time, not like play complicated notes and stuff. So like I did bass drum since like ninth grade, and like I never really wanted to move on to like snare or tenor. I did have the option to every year. So like I could because like I could become like a leader in the bass drum. There's something called section lead. There's one section leaders for the snare section, tenor, and bass drum. And since I can, if I continue the bass drum thing for all 4 years, I could be section leader, which could be a very good thing. So that's the reason why I stuck with bass drum mostly.
Okay. Uh, I have one other question. So I don't know where you live, but here in Plano, Texas, like I'm in ninth grade right now, right? Back in sixth and seventh grade, I used to be in band. I used to play the flute, but then I quit because it was getting a little difficult for me. Now that I'm in high school now, like the band kids who have taken marching band here, they are very busy. They keep telling me like the program is extremely rigorous. Like school for us ends at 4, so they have to leave for like the camp at something at 5 and they come back at 9 daily. And then on the weekends they also have to do like daily practices for like I don't know, like 5 to 6 hours. And I've heard like multiple times that many people in the marching band during practices they have like fainted during the practices because of
Oh my.
how much like exercise they're doing. So like it's extremely difficult for them and it's like their life revolves around it now. So I'm just wondering if it's sort of like that for you as well.
I mean, like it's not the timing is not like it's not like 5 to 6 hours in the week, and it's not like after 9:30. Except like there's at least no, except one at least twice a week we have to stay after school. From like our school ends a little earlier at 2 o'clock, and then like we have to stay like until like I think one time when we practice, that's like up to like 6 o'clock or something. And when we perform like actual game or like go to like invitational to like see our competitive to see to basically compete, we typically take up to like 10 or maybe 11 sometimes. Like it takes up really late, and like it's a lot of work. Like there's also like individual practice as well, which takes up it. So like it's not as rigorous as that, and it is. I'm saying it rigorous. It's rigorous. It definitely affects my school time and like my other what I can do. But like it's also a pretty fun time, and like it helps you pass the time in a lot of ways as well. So like my experience is slightly different, and like Texas is like notorious for having some of like the most best marching bands in the country. So like probably does have a lot of work.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, nice set of questions. Now, Pratulya will ask the question.
First of all, Achif, your presentation was nice, Achif. There is a band selection on 22nd August, Achif, and there is an family event on the same date. Your family is forcing you for coming to that family event, but they are not leaving you for that band selection. At that situation, what you will do, Achif?
On Friday, on the 22nd, okay, so like typically marching band is very strict with time. Like you have like this is not only like an extracurricular, it's a grade for school. Like there, it's a band, it's counted as a grade, and attendance is a huge part in the grade because there's not like much tests or anything. It's basically whether you attend the event and participated or not. So like one event can actually throw your grade away. So like if I have like a family event, and like unless if it's very dire, like somewhere like there's like an emergency I have to go, or like someone passed away or something, someone got very sick, or like you got an injury, like they won't allow you to like leave. So like I have to be at school, and like I have to convince my parents some way, because like the only person that's probably more interested in my grades is my parents, and like I need to have the good marks in order to pass school and do well in elsewhere. So like that's probably will be enough to convince them to do it. Though like typically it won't conflict as much as I thought. I thought it would make it everywhere, but like it didn't do. Family events typically come like during breaks, and like during like winter break, like spring break, their school is off. Typically then marching band is also off. So like that's the good thing about it.
Nice question, Pratulya. That was a nice answer. In addition to what Ananya and Pratulya have asked, Achyut, my question is, this has become a kind of a trend from 2007, only for the past 15 or 16 years. These our own people, of course, people who were born in India and they're studying in US, and the US citizens themselves have been more interested towards getting immersed into the bands. Like Ananya just mentioned, way back when she was in the 6th grade and 7th grade, she was there and she took a hiatus, she took a break, and now she is also thinking. Why do you think these people have suddenly picked up the keen interest on joining bands? And how do you think this is going to be uh, influentially useful for a teenager's mental and physical strength?
But like band, not for like Indian kids and other immigrants, but like for like the native population, like it's been a tradition for a really long time before then. And like schools play heavy emphasis on it, like football games, like all the marching bands, they were like very like big. And then like all of a sudden there's an influx of the kids, and like it's like it looks very good for, first of all, it's very good for like colleges and stuff. Like it's a very good extracurricular to have, like all the like you practice a lot, and like it's like looks good on application. And like typically like Indians, like they also, like many people already learn like Carnatic instruments like a mridangam, or like they sing and stuff for violin. They learn all of them in India. So like, and like typically all the more of these people, they're more in the upper class of Indian society, middle to upper class range. And like those are also the more people that are more likely to immigrate to the US and abroad elsewhere. So they typically are able to pick up on those traditions of music, and like suddenly like they become part, like the way that the US is like there's not like there's still like there's one big school with lots of Asian students, like Indians and stuff, and then there's another school with just white people. Like it's not like there's not like really a big mix in a lot of places. Like in my school there's a little bit, but it's mainly half Asian, half white, and like it's kind of like that type. So like they need to try some stimulating in between there. So like, and like they see them, and like they're getting, and like even though like and like over the past 15 years, like typically it's good marks that get into colleges and higher stuff, but now it's more of extracurriculars as well. It's going more towards the trend because are coming in and like they're more bracking up the things, and like everyone's getting smarter in the US. It's like the average GPA, average SAT, ACT score, they're all rising right now, which is making it difficult for college to choose it. And so like they're trying to, so like there's other stuff, and like one of the big stuff that pop into mind is music. And music programs are typically very good, and like they also are a very good like because everyone has like rigorous schedules in like high school and middle school and stuff, and it's a good break for them to like have like I always look forward to like band and stuff, because like it's the one class where like I don't need, there's not really much homework, there's not really anything, you just perform and stuff and like how, and it's more fun. Definitely there's times where it's really rigorous, so like out of, rather than study like English or math, I do band any day. That's the reason.
Right. So that's a brilliant answer. So in one class, we had 3 distinctive presentations, a kind of a quantum physics concept by Pratulya, which spoke about law of attraction, and Achyut gave a validation and a kind of information providing as to why joining in bands is considered to be very important. And Ananya made a presentation on psychological therapy as to how to erase haunting memories and haunting substances from the mind. Now, it's been 1 hour and 15 minutes since we have started this class. And Anantika, how much time do you think you will take for making presentation?
10 to 15 minutes, sir.
10 to 15 minutes. Achyut and Ananya, can we, because Anantika's presentation has been a week late, so I am actually very much willing to listen to Anantika's presentation. Yeah, Pratulya's parent will come now and she might be leaving, but shall we listen to Anantika's presentation? Because even if you, I think the presentations on an average has taken 10 to 15 minutes. Ananya made for 12 minutes, Pratulya made for about 12 minutes, and Achyut, inclusive of everything, made for 15 minutes. So shall we finish Anantika's presentation too?
Sure, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So Anantika has been given a presentation, and Anantika, do you have got a presentation to share?
No, sir.
Okay. Fine. So then you can make an oral presentation, Anantika. Come on, give your best shot.
Sir, actually, I have taken a topic about communication skill. How do we improve our communication in our daily life? And when we are speaking in a public area, how can we improve our communication? There are two steps I took the presentation. First step in quest for vocabularies. So it is the first step. It has 5 subdivisions. So first one is choose a book. So we can take an interest. If I am choosing a book in our diary, I taking my social book or an outside any book which we like and identify 10 words. First we should read 10 to 20 lines, and we should identify a new word which is difficult to us, which is not familiar to us. So identify the meaning for them. So by using a dictionary, we can identify the meaning and find the word which is difficult for and not familiar for us.
Anantika, one second. Anantika, one second. Anantika, Ananya, and Achyut, Pratulya's mom has come. So let us all give our byes to Pratulya because she's leaving now. Bye, Pratulya. So I will send up another video and make sure that by Thursday you can make another presentation. Say your byes to Pratulya, please. Guys.
Bye, Pratulya.
Bye,
Yeah,
Pratulya.
Everybody's saying bye to you.
Bye, Anantika. Bye. Bye, Anantika.
I will just continue. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Anantika, we have got only 10 minutes in the meeting. So can we continue, or you want a new window to be started?
No, sir.
So you will finish within this timeline itself?
Yes, sir.
Right. Go ahead, Anantika.
So finding the meaning for the words which is not familiar to us and combine them as a statement and make it as a passage. So if a passage can be make it as in our own words, which is understandable to us. So no restrictions in that. And after that, we want to make it as a presentation for 10 to 15 minutes. And in front of the mirror, we can speak it. So in this way, we can improve our communication skill. This is first step, how we can improve our communication skill. And the second step, this is a next adequate step after the quiz for vocabulary. So for improving your communication skill, this is the very important step in the places like public speakers. If you are a public speaker, or lot of public speaking skills is improved in you, or you are a entrepreneur, so you should improve your communication skill is needed. So there is a essential for making a good impact in front of the people. Communication is making an impact on people who are listening to you. So if you need to present a topic on front of the people, you need guts, development in your skills and patience. So you should, in all the days, you should develop your presentation skill and communication skill step by step. This will help you in the presentation in front of many people. This is improve. So these steps will improve your basic level of guts and your basic level of courage. So this will give you a courage for speaking front of someone who are listening to you. It makes lot of impact towards developing your public speaking skill. So these steps will improve your development in your public speaking skill. So this is a prominent step. This is the mirror conversation technique. So if you are taking some topic as said by first step, we should take some presentation or some presentation which we are familiar. We should present our conversation with in front of the mirror, which is half size, which shows your face, or it can be a full size. It is required when you speak in front of the mirror, you will come to know how better you have groomed so far and how better you have really developed your personal equipment. You have take some particular book. So you in front of the mirror, when you are speaking, it will develop. It will show how patience in the presentation skill and how you are grooming so far. These steps is helping for you or not, you can find yourself. And when you are speaking, when you are doing in front of the mirror, you can take a video. So these video or audio recording. So these will show the progress in you. For 20 to 25 days, you are taking the surrounding people also see the improvement in you. So new word searching in for meaning. If you are doing a presentation, you are making reading a passage and finding new words, it will make you to understand more new vocabularies. And if you are reading or checking for new meanings, you should write the meanings on a piece of paper, and you combine the words and make it as a presentation, and do it in front of the mirror. So we can go as a small recap on it. So you choose a book, read at least 10 to 20 lines better. If you are convincing in reading, you can take a first 2 pages. get the meaning of difficult and new words. So you can get the meaning of a difficult and unfamiliar words and get a meaning. So internalizing the meaning of the read passages. So you should translate the meaning in your own English. So you should not translate in Tamil. You should translate the meaning in your own English, no matter how bad your English is. So it is for you. So how your English you can make it. So no problem of grammar, no problem in grammar. Just write down the entire meaning of the read passage in a piece of paper, which you are understood. Don't copy the passage. What you are like a notes, you can write in a piece of paper and present it. Present it in front of the mirror. The formula is when you are reading, you got the meaning. So you are searching for a meaning. When you are internalizing, you got affirmed with the meaning. So you are understanding the meaning. When you are writing it, so you convert the subject matter into a presentable form. So you are converting the meaning into subject matter which you can presentable. So this process is reading, internalizing, writing. So step 4 is stand in front of the mirror and make a presentation of the read. Internalize and written passage in your own English. Don't hesitate. If somebody will laugh on us, don't hesitate. You can present it in your own English. So read the passage or a couple of pages in that book. Internalize the read meaning of the subject matter. So write the entire meaning in a piece of paper. Carry the meaning, get strong, make a presentation in front of the mirror. So assume your own performance by recording voice or video. So these will help you in improving your communication skill and speaking skill in your school or college. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic presentation, Anantika. Very well done. So communication skills, video, apt video, and I really believe that you would be following this. Will you be taking the steps? And once again, before we finishing up, the meeting window is going to be ending. I'm sure this is definitely annoying for all you people, but I'm trying to renew the license, and I'm also working on some Google Workspace project. So soon I will fix it. But right now, we need to talk for about 2 minutes, for which I don't have sufficient time. So if you don't mind, for one last time, please join a new window, please. Shall we?
Okay, sir.